This is squeaky clean Casey King, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Alright. Uh, the Wednesday after that, which is June 1st, we got the one Sean Moore. Um, a special Tuesday interview. Tuesday, June 7th, we got Anna Diaz. I repeat, special Tuesday interview, June 7th, Anna Diaz. Uh, regularly scheduled interview Wednesday the 8th, Zoe Sagar, and Wednesday the 15th, Mike Gamble. Alright, now that we are done putting ourselves over, that's a great day for wrestling, depending on who you ask.
Oh, yeah.
Stepanie McMahan stepping
Yes.
down from her duties in WWE. And one part I'm, kind of happy for her if that's something she wants to do. It doesn't seem like she did it under any duress, and she didn't get fired. Let's just say that.
Yes.
But I also don't know what to really think about this. What do you think about it, Squirrel?
Well, the rumor is that Stephanie McMahon is a workaholic.
No
Even
shit.
even more than Triple H was. Um, so I'm I'm not surprised by her taking time off. I think it's long overdue. Um, does this indicate change in the WWE offices? Uh, who knows? Is this an indication of anything potentially with bad for Triple H? Most likely not. Um, I believe this is just a case of a mother and wife wanting to have more time with their family without having such worry about work.
Do you think the state of WWE is going to be without Stephanie McMahon?
I think it's going to be the same. Quite honestly, I don't know if the actual product is the result of Stephanie McMahon, because Stephanie was always the business end. So
She did work in creative at one point,
just once.
right? Just once. Some people were under the impression that Nick Khan is slowly climbing the ladder into getting into that Vince McMahon chair. Any do you believe that there's any logic to that whatsoever?
I mean, I hope he knows he's going to have to sit on Vince's skeleton because it's going to be hot glued to that damn chair.
My thoughts exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, weirder things have happened, but I don't think one of them is going to be Vince McMahon giving up control to Nick Khan. I'd sooner believe Tony Khan would get WWE from his grasp than Nick Khan.
I believe James Conn would get WWE from his grasp before Nick.
If he knew how to run a wrestling company, I'm sure he would. Or at least try. But, hopefully this is just something what we talk about once and maybe one more time when she actually does come back and not be an omen for WWE and what is maybe to come. Um, Talking of omens, Ric Flair is officially confirmed to have one more match. Yeah. Scooter?
No!
Yep.
And I don't blame Ricky Steamboat.
I don't think anybody blames Ricky Steamboat. He had two incredible matches with Chris Jericho to kind of end his career. Leave it on a high note while Ric Flair is still chasing that dragon. Really, he tracked down the Dragon Steamboat. But let's say, just for the sake of it, Ricky did say yes. What would that match not really be?
Two people dying in the ring instead of one?
I kind of believe Ricky Steamboat could still go, or at least I'd like to believe that.
I mean, yeah. Could Steamboat still go? Yeah, probably for once, but he had it back at WrestleMania 25.
Right, he had his moment. But that being said, you know, it's usually older talent versus younger talent, and the younger talent protects the older talent to some degree in the ring. I don't think Chris Jericho had to take too much care of the Dragon Steamboat. Um, but it really seems like Ric Flair could really use some, protection when he does get back in the ring for that one more match. And I don't think Ricky would really be able to offer him that. Do you agree?
Yeah, Ricky would not be able to offer him the protection, yeah, that he would need, and Flair in turn would not be offered to offer Rick the Steamboat. There's too many Ricks here.
It's Rick and Ricky.
There's
Has there
too many Ricks.
has there been a Morty in wrestling?
It's a Ricky Morton.
No. I mean, there's a Moriarty, but not a Morty.
I mean, Morty is short for Morton, so or Mortimer, but I guess there has been a Mortimer, so um,
Could this be the only time we get a Rick versus Morty match?
if they find somebody named Morty, sure. I mean, maybe they can get Michael J. Fox to play Morty McFly. Um, but the clear opponents for Ric Flair's one more match should be, the lawyers that got his ex-wife's alimony.
Which one?
It's either that or It's going to be Ric Flair versus Incontinence. Can Ric Flair not crap his pants? Can Ric Flair keep his pants on?
Well, we know that he was not able to leave his pants on for the ending of his career, for sure. It definitely scored tags at one point. Um, I mean, if a guy like Kenny Omega wrestles Ric Flair, there is a 90% chance that Kenny Omega murders Ric Flair in the middle of the ring, no?
Yeah.
If he
I mean,
wrestles Rey Mysterio, there's 100% chance that he does.
oh God, oh,
And you know why, Scooter? Because Rey
it's Rey
Mysterio,
Mysterio kills
he murders
motherfuckers.
motherfuckers. just another body on the count list. But
What's Vampiro doing these days? Uh, gee, there's some young guy in AEW. What's his name? Oh yeah, Sting. If I were to trust anybody in one more match with Ric Flair, do you know who I would choose?
who?
Riho.
Riho.
That's
Riho.
it.
Oh my God, Riho.
Maybe Maki Ito.
They could have a karaoke off.
They could have a falling. They could have a flop match. Who takes the better flop?
That match would not be PG for many reasons.
I mean, you could give him to Sonny Kiss. He hasn't, seen some action in quite some time.
That's
You
what
could
she
give it to
said.
you could give it to Nyla Rose and really confuse the hell out of Ric Flair. Oh God, we could go on for this
But
forever.
I mean, Nyla breaks bitches, and Rick is.
A bitch at this point.
Nobody broken.
Yeah, 4 ex-wives will do that.
Yeah. Yes.
God. Oh God, who do we have the money to reanimate?
I mean, the proper name, the one that seems the safest to me would be Jay Lethal.
Only because we've seen that it can happen.
Right. But who would you say is 100% safe in the ring, could wrestle a a very fragile 73-year-old man and have a decent match with them? Because there's not a lot of names out there.
Well, the one name that I think kind of makes, sense in all this, MJF.
Does he
I mean, MJF is of Jay Lethal stature.
but not ring.
He, I mean, he.
I I mean, I'll say this: nobody's ever gotten hurt wrestling MJF. He's not necessarily the best wrestler, but he's not necessarily the most unsafe wrestler.
Yeah, and if Rick wants someone to take care of him, may, maybe maybe Sammy Guevara, but
I wouldn't trust Sammy, honestly.
um,
We're only going on.
but I would think they would bring him in to be part of I think AEW would bring him in to be part of a 6-man with the Samoa Joe.
We're kind of assuming that it's with AEW. This could just be some random event that maybe WWE allows one of their superstars to come and
He,
have this last match with.
I
Whether,
mean, he's not under he's not under a competitive deal.
but I'm saying it doesn't necessarily have to be AEW or an AEW guy.
Ooh, maybe wow.
Have that most anticipated Tessa Blanchard versus Ric Flair match.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Uh, or maybe it could be
What about Shawn Michaels?
he's too old for this shit.
You're not wrong. I mean,
Um,
continue.
you know, I you know I'd be satisfied with Ric Flair just trying to figure out some newfangled gizmo.
What about Randy Orton?
You clearly want Ric Flair to die.
Randy is safe. I mean, Randy doesn't do anything crazy in
Uh,
that ring, and he knows how to walk without getting hurt and hurting others. Especially this
I mean,
version of Randy Orton.
I mean, yes, says the guy who spent the first year of his career on the injured list. Uh, God. Uh, you know what? Screw it. Give him Nash Carter.
Well, that does bring us to a bit of news about Nash. He did make his first public statement since being fired from WWE. We're not gonna go. Obviously, it was just some jabroni, very scripted, loyal, told me to say this type things. We're not gonna go into the allegations between him and Kimball Lee. That's for another podcast and another speculation. What we do know, what he did do, the Nazi photo, the Hitler photo. Um, can Nash Carter get past this and still have somewhat of a decent career, or is people not going to want to touch him with a 10-foot pole?
It depends on one thing. Hold on. I'm getting to it. It depends if he's seen Kyle.
Oh, what?
It depends if he's seen Kyle.
What's Kyle?
Has has anybody seen Kyle? He's about this high. Think about it, James. Think about the phrase,
Have you seen Kyle?
and then hold your hand up.
Okay.
as you're saluting. God, yeah, that.
You're really lucky I'm just tired today.
That's a meme. That's like a meme. Has anybody seen Kyle? Seen Kyle? He's about this high. I mean, you know, and I'm Jewish. I can say this. So anybody listening thinking, oh, that was so offensive, fuck you. I can say this shit about my own people, and about people who make fun of my people. But I hear I hear Palestine Championship Wrestling is aching to get him.
Well, if he could bounce back and wrestle there, then good for him. Somebody else that's going to be wanting to wrestle at Palestine Wrestling is Sasha Banks. On
Wait, who?
Monday, herself and Naomi walked out of the Raw taping even when she was announced to be in a match. In a very high profile match at that as well. It seems like we have this conversation every 6 months, if that. Why is Sasha Banks so hard to work with?
Well, it's not just Sasha this time. Naomi does have a part in it.
From what I'm hearing, she was. There is no heat on Naomi. They kind of feel like she was persuaded into leaving with Sasha because of their relationship. But it kind of seems, the strand here is once again Sasha not being in a show where she's supposed to do a job, and it kind of biting everybody in the ass at this point.
I mean, as of this, they are officially suspended.
Both of them.
Yes, both of them. There's going to be a future tournament for the women's tag team championships. In fact, you know what? I would not be surprised if this kills the women's tag team championships to begin with.
One could say that they were never alive to begin with.
Very true.
You know, the one thing I know Vince McMahon. Well, I don't know Vince McMahon, but the one thing I know about Vince McMahon is that he's willing to forgive a lot of bad shit. But the one thing that he really can't forgive and he takes highly offense of is promoting somebody on a show and then they don't come. They no show it. And he always believes in that. And it's been more than one occasion when Sasha Banks has been promoted on a match and then she was not there. As Vince McMahon, how do you trust Sasha Banks? Should he trust Sasha Banks?
The question here is the WWE giving this a bit too much attention on the air to make it seem like this could be a work? I mean, they don't usually address these situations on the air.
Was it, um,
It last night on SmackDown, it was addressed on the air.
Now, I'm not entirely sure, maybe you know if it was or not. When Ultimate Warrior held WWE up for money at the Royal Rumble, was was it addressed afterwards what he did, or did they say that he was fired, or how was that handled? Because I don't.
Oh, okay. Hold on, my connection was the one that dropped out.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
I heard Ultimate Warrior held it up for money at the Royal Rumble, and you
Yeah.
literally cut out there.
How was that situation handled? Did they address it? Not that he held them up for money, or that he was fired and that he won't be coming back.
Now, are you talking about 91 or 92 or 96?
The one with Sergeant Slaughter and Hulk Hogan. I think that was like
That was 91, yes. That was more of that there were plans to. I believe Warrior was actually promised another reign with the title, but I think they used that as leverage to just get him to agree to drop it because his reign was not successful.
right.
Um, but did they address it? On the no, I can think of a couple. I can think of one particular time when somebody actually did uh, legit get into trouble, and his firing was announced on the air in 1994, and that's Crush Brian Adams.
Hmm.
It was revealed that by Todd Pettengill on an episode of WWF Mania, which was the show that aired on 10 a.m. On the East Coast on USA here, that Crush, real name Brian Adams, was arrested for drug possession and thus released from the World Wrestling Federation. So there is precedent for it. Um, I I mean I don't even know anymore at this point.
Well, let's go on let's say that it is a let's say that this was real. And why is WWE taking such offense to this? Could it be that they're trying to tell the people that Sasha doesn't want to perform for them and kind of make her a heel in the eyes of the people that they say, oh, they mistreated Sasha, or it's just a kind of I don't want to say, oh no, a grudge. Is this kind of a grudge between Vince McMahon and Sasha that say, call her out on her shit?
I think it might be more to the fact that they pushed Sasha as one of the trailblazers as a person of color, and the fact that she's in the history books as part of the first all-female person of color main event.
And many,
And
many, many other historic moments.
and I mean, should Sasha be grateful? I think so. Um, you know, the fact that this issue is not being brought up yet, again, that makes me think there's something more to this. Um, because how does it look? From a public relations standpoint, that you know a a superstar that's a female person of color that is an inspiration to
Many, many,
girls everywhere.
yeah.
That you know persons of color that you know your dreams were true. Could are achievable. They can come true, and that now this is. Remember, if you don't like it, you could just take your ball and go home.
Right. And I think that's I think that's a perfect example. The Stone Cold taking your ball and going home. Because that it kind of seems like that was the case. Let's
Yeah, I mean,
say, for argument's sake, that Sasha gets fired. What other company would pick up Sasha Banks with the reputation that she has? Because I don't think Tony Khan giving her the benefit of the doubt.
oh, I do. I absolutely do.
But
I
really,
and there's one reason.
that being,
Snoop D-O double jizzle, yo.
I kind of feel like that was more of a Cody thing than a Tony Khan thing.
I mean, well, since you have a relative,
But then you have Scott Demore of Impact, who I mean,
Sasha won't want Impact. That's the thing.
you have NWA. The thing of it is, who would want Sasha Banks when there's a 50-50 chance that she is not going to show up for the show that she's scheduled on?
But this is not a case of her not showing up. It's a case of her leaving.
But it's not doing the job that she was supposed to do.
But
Spoiler alert, it's all a work.
I mean, and again, that's the biggest question. Is this a case of her standing up for herself as a wrestler, as a person of color, as a frustrated worker?
How could she be frustrated? She was
That's the
tag team
point.
champion.
That's the point. That's the why that people really can't understand. They think it's about her being put into a program with Ronda and the tag team titles being put on the back burner for a month or two. Like she I guarantee if Sasha was the champion and was told the situation and said her, her whatever women's title she had was going to be on the back burner for 2 months, she'd have no problem with it. I think this has nothing to do with the prestige of the women's tag team titles.
Let's say that this is a walk. What's the angle? What are they trying to achieve by stating Sasha Banks and Naomi left the building?
That's the thing people can't wrap their heads around. Is this supposed to be the start of some potential female uprising? I don't know. I mean, it's just it's just such an odd situation with so many variables that can't be explained.
Well, can you explain the one thing? Liv Morgan, a part of Bullet Club or not a part of Bullet Club?
Well, it's Bullet Club for Liv.
I love that. But I mean, if literally the guy that made the whole damn thing says you're cool, doesn't that mean that you're a part of the group?
Well, I would say so, and that means she doesn't have to go chasing Lana anymore.
Right. So yeah, Liv's a part joins the ranks of Peter and Amber O'Neil as as one of three females to be a part of Bullet Club. Jay White, where's the appreciation tweet? Damn it!
Well, I mean, when you get your name in the motto, I mean, when you are Bullet Club, you are Bullet Club for Live.
Let's talk about Roman Reigns. He is. It's rumored. These are only rumors at this point that the three names for the three stadium shows, which is Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Clash at the Castle, in order are Matt Riddle, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre. I can understand wanting Randy at SummerSlam because Randy is not. I mean, but actually, no. Roman has actually beaten Randy at SummerSlam before.
Yeah, 2014.
I was there.
I was in the hospital.
Those things are totally the same. Uh, but I mean, it wasn't this version of Randy Orton. But how do you feel about Riddle, Randy, and then Drew at the next three stadium shows against Roman?
I mean, Roman and Riddle, I can understand because Riddle took that cheap shot. Roman would want to put Riddle in his place. Uh,
Rectify it.
uh, based on a tweet uh, from yesterday, uh, Drew is Clash at the Castle.
I don't think it was ever in doubt. But, I thought Randy was logical, but now it seems like it's not maybe the most logic thing. How do you feel about Randy? maybe getting the championship not at SummerSlam. Not winning, but getting the match.
Uh, oh, no. No, I don't see it.
All of this being said, when is Nakamura gonna shot? Because it seems like they always throw him on the back burner.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Knock even gets a shot.
And what do you think that is? I mean, Nakamura is one of the most liked baby faces on the roster. He obviously can perform in the ring, and they've been teasing Roman and Nakamura for maybe over a year at this point, without ever pulling the trigger on it. It just seems like there's one thing stopping them from doing it, and I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Alright. And earlier this week, uh, Johnny Johnny Elite made his debut on All Elite Wrestling.
Ugh.
No, it was not Johnny Gargano. It was John Morrison. But what does it say about public opinion that you hear Johnny Elite and you immediately think Johnny Gargano and become disappointed when it's John Morrison?
Uh, well, I mean, as soon as I saw Johnny Elite, I knew it was Morrison. Who else would have any other nickname besides Johnny Wrestling? You know, it's the one nickname John Morrison hasn't earned.
I mean, when I heard Johnny Elite, I thought Johnny Gargano immediately. So, what does it tell you about public opinion that they would have rather seen Johnny Gargano than John Morrison?
I mean, question is, does the result change the fact that you're glad it was Morrison, and not Gargano?
Well, I kind of feel like the John Morrison experiment is kind of over. He had a good look. He did some things, but ultimately he never reached his full potential.
He was never on top of the mundo.
Exactly. Johnny Gargano, at least we got to see Johnny Gargano at his full potential. We got to see everything he could be and more, and want more out of it. And I think that is kind of what people feel. Well, at least how I feel. John Morrison is slightly under Johnny Gargano, for sure.
Oh, I think he's a lot under Johnny Gargano, quite honestly.
Very true. Alright. Um, let's get into something you brought up last You know what? Let's make this
Ooh,
its own segment.
well, I do have a piece of news. I don't know if you were going to bring this up.
Was it
Uh,
was it about a promotion that sells two of the three names of all podcasts or audio streams?
no, no, it's got to do with Harland.
Oh, sure, shoot.
More news about uh, Harland's WWE departure. Of course, he was released in late April with a bunch of other talents due to budget cuts. It was revealed that it was revealed this past week that Edge wanted to bring Harland into Judgment Day. It was an idea that was supposed to be a major secret, so much so that it was even kept from Harland himself. They apparently WWE officials found something out about the former college football player, so they made the decision to pull him from the stable plant and then release him based on that. So the question is, what is it? Is it is it another Nash Carter situation? Is it I mean,
Hi, Kyle.
well, Nash Carter, Nash Carter, Hitler, Nash Carter, abuser. I
Nazi
can't think of any other way to
enthusiast or
describe that.
Nazi enthusiast or allegation riddled?
Riddle's got nothing to do with this.
I mean, it's just a theory.
But hey, that's just a theory. Oh yes. Let's get Theory a spokesperson and name him Matt Pat. You internet nerds know what I'm talking about. In fact, you know what? Screw the whole show. If I don't hear, but hey, it's just a theory before his theme music, I riot. But then, that makes him sound like, it's just a theory.
What was we talking about again?
Adolf Harland?
Whatever it might have been, does it really matter if Harlan was a part of Judgment Day or not?
Well,
I
oh wait, hold on, I'm getting some information. It has to do with an apparently scandalous photo where Harlan's nether regions were exposed. And apparently the statement behind it was this. The WWE management used to think he was crazy, but now they can see his nuts. No, thank you. I'll be here all week. Be sure to try your waitress. Oh crap! What really were we talking about? He's fired. He's still fired. He'll still be fired tomorrow. He'll still be fired yesterday.
Well, we know why he got fired now, because Joe Gacy canceled them.
You are not inclusive enough. He did not acknowledge the Aboriginal anthills that he.
That picture does not include. That picture does not include friends of Jewish descent.
Yes, that's.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And that does beg the question: what would Gigi do for a pair of shoes?
I'd suck a dick!
Now, a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.